Well, that's entirely embarrassing. That had probably some of my best voice acting work. And it's gone. Oh god, how that's embarrassing. I mean, it's not the most embarrassing thing I've ever done, but it's not the most embarrassing thing I've done on stream, but that is entirely embarrassing. So to surmise what we've been doing, we finally met Ignis. He's got turned into a leafkin. Only us or Arcelia can communicate with him. There was an attempted assassination. It failed. And we got to talk to this wonderful exorcist who's been brought back. And she's going to attempt a purging ritual to try and free Ignis of this curse. And we are to be her escort and errand boy. However, since I apparently forgot to hit the go live button 2.5 hours ago, all of that has been lost to the ether. I may see what I can do. There are ways to view these cutscenes later. See if there's a way to do that in progress. Otherwise, things, well, they're minorly annoying. Like I said, that was probably some of my best voice acting work, too. I was very, very proud of it. And it's all gone. Well, regardless, we have to talk to Plo over here to get our actual list of items.
Ingrid has left me with a message for you. To gather 4 items that have been touched by the divine. The first, a piece of stone wall touched by dawn of light of dawn. Second, holy water untainted by impurity. The third, a flame that has gone unextinguished for 7 years. The fourth, wings of a weather vane that have stood the test of time. Perhaps you could start gathering information from other exorcists. They would do their utmost to uphold Ingrid's wishes. Hildebert's manse is not far from here. I suggest you pay his order a visit and see what information you can glean.
We're gonna be back into here anyway. The easternmost alley. Now that's not the easternmost alley. Oh, you'd think that would be at the alley. I thought it was gonna be this one way down here, but it's like the easternmost alley. You mean the northmost alley?
Ah, yes, my dear adventurer. We've come. We've been expecting you. Vortimir himself has bid me to hold on to something for you. Here, this eternal flame. This flame was bequeathed to us by Morhrimi, a geomancer that lived many years ago. No evil force may come within several yalms of its blessed heat, and thus it has burned brightly without fail for years. I can tell the fact that the exorcist and geomancers once worked together confounds you. We exorcists answer to divine providence, yet do not define everything in black and white terms. I have some information for you that the other vessels which Ingrid bid you acquire. Our research suggests that the stone wall touched by the light of dawn has something to do with Edelin's port district. Sailors and captains of our far city have a custom of honoring the morning sun, and as such, many of our vessels contain the word dawn in their names. And as for the holy water untainted by impurity, we believe that to be located in the fountain in Edelin's western plaza. The fountain's water is directly taken from the Rala waterways beneath Edelin proper, so it is both pure and clean. Unfortunately, we're at a loss where wings of the weather vane that stood the test of time might be. However, we've contacted our scouts to gather intelligence, and I suggest you first head to the fountain to begin your search.
Anyway, there's another reason we have to. I'm talking to her, and that's because she can give us Ingrid's trust. She's also known as Ingrid the Merciless, and she's fine with that. And that's the scary part. She is fine with being called that. Well, that provides some characterization I wasn't expecting. Oh, well, that is unfortunate. Now, it doesn't matter in which the order we get these next two in. They can be done in either order. The weather vane will always be the last one. There's a piece of stone wall. I'm actually so embarrassed that I forgot to hit that button. That is outside of the one time we were playing Neo, and I forgot that I was on a black screen for like the first 2 hours of the stream, and that was, again, full of glorious combat and glorious things happened. And I completely mucked that one up. That was embarrassing. Ah, it's good to know that I can still pull those stupid maneuvers off when I'm kind of in a hurry. And there's the fountain we need. Come on, Ernie. I know you have this item for me. What do we have here? You must be a pioneer after that weather vane. Me? The owner? Surely you jest. I'm just the hired help. But I do have indeed what you seek. One of our older groundskeepers told me this piece has quite a history behind it. But it's seen better days and has remained in storage for as long as I've been here. Many years ago, a northern wind blew through Adeline for the first time in centuries, carrying upon it a ravaging plague. This vein alerted the citizenry to its coming. Of course, we now have remedies to combat such disease, and this whole thing's seen better days, so I need to state the obvious. Needless to say, no one could bear to part with it for something that saved so many lives. So it's been buried away here for so long. Make sure you treat it well. Here. Let us go. I'm not sure we'll be able to get through this next cutscene. I hope we can. Because, again, another one of those in-game waits that 11 is so fond of.
Actually made it back within a reasonable time frame. I must admit to being mildly impressed. Not that this puts you in my good graces, but Ingrid the Merciless knows to give credit where credit is due. Adventure from the Middlelands. Now that all my implements are here, there's naught to do but perform the purgation. Impossible.
I'd hoped that. It is as we feared. Such a strong curse could only be the work of the Founder King. Do you all believe me now? This self-absorbed girl could not despair the darkness around Ignis. The Founder King's will has spoken.
I cannot deny the intensity of this affliction. Perhaps my confidence got the better of me. This requires an even more elaborate ritual. I must ponder this further, but I'll be ready next time.
So you failed.
I must apologize for my inadequacy, Lord Vortimir.
No, my dear. You need not be sorry.
But why?
This is the perfect opportunity, Ingrid. The more rituals we conduct, the more our influence grows. But do not fail again. Should our authority come into question, all we've done would have been for naught.
Fear not, Lord Vortimir. I have no intention of losing face twice.
Calling as exorcist is to rid Adeline of forces most fiendish and foul. And this task has been instructed to us, and no other. Just think back to the time of the Great Expedition. How valued we were then, and how valued we will be again. Colonization must continue, and yet there are many who would see it falter. Iki Ashkamot dares not open a mouth, owing to recent events at the Colosseum, but too many of the other leaders remain hard-headed. Ingrid, a question.
Of course.
You saw the Grand Chancellor up close. Were you able to...
No. I did not have the opportunity.
Though you of all people would have been able to understand.
I'd suspected they would blather on about the Founder King's curse, but this...
Pay it no attention. We have more pressing matters to attend to. I had not expected that girl to turn out to be such a threat. It matters not whether she's telling the truth or lying about being able to hear Ignis's voice, but no matter. Her getting in our way is inevitable.
Oh, Rachnios, whatever shall we do? Don't break the curse. I can feel it. Something dread. This way. Arachnios, is my brother saying something? The key. At there. Lady. Ignis? Arachnios, tell me, what did my brother say? He was pointing right at me.
He says something about you being the key.
A key? To lead us? What could he have meant?
Why, my dear, do you not see? The answer is in front of you, plain as day. Asiela, you never desired colonization. By pointing at you, he meant that we should follow your true desires. It can only mean that we must respect the will of the Founder King, and it would be a grave mistake to pursue colonization any further.
But no. A clever trick, Hildebert. But pray tell, is that the only explanation? Could it not mean that Ignis wishes Arcelia to continue colonization in his stead? He must be wishing for her to become the standard bearer for colonization.
Your insolence goes too far this time, Melvin.
Insolence? Why, no, I've only used the most deductive of reasoning. Countless hours have I spent poring over tomes and annals dating back to our very first colonization efforts.
You impudent fool! Who are you to look down upon our Founder King's dying words? The lesson that the Great Expedition taught us is that the only way to appease him is to honor his spirit. That we must do is cast off this ridiculous premise of rituals and purgations, and revere the Founder King as he demands. Just as we did back then, we must go and reseal his tomb once more.
Hildebert, it is wholly inappropriate of you to make rash statements in such a place.
Perhaps you are right.
It makes me wonder, do you not feel that the circumstances surrounding our colonization effort are quite different from those of the Great Expedition? Do we even have the time or money to appease his spirit?
Time or money?
I imply nothing, my dear Hildebert. Only that as Minister of Finance, we must undertake all things with due caution. Though many remember the great expedition for its ultimate failure, at that time, Edelin was able to receive much from the bounty of the wilds. Should you doubt my words, I bid you head to the Selenium Memorial Library and read for yourself. Do so, and you will understand why I staunchly support the colonization initiative. Our nation has waned in its influence since those grand times, though I fear such words will not sway you now.
And you would dare turn a matter of faith into one core of coin? You and your kind are a blight upon this land.
Nothing could be further from the truth. No. I cannot in good conscience support policies predicated on our people dying of hunger and languishing in the streets.
Are you mocking me?
This isn't about you.
This is about not being able to wring blood from a stone.
Both of you, please. Please, just stop.
Oh, I think we've timed it perfectly. An in-game day is passing as we speak. And 59. New day. Go to Western Adeline, right outside the Pioneers Guild, to talk to our good friend and cohort, Level. At least, I'm hoping. We timed that perfectly. We did. Yes!
Rachnius, how goes the pioneering? That's good to hear. But since you're here, something that's been bothering me. It's about a beloved princess. The color's been drained from her face, and she mopes about everywhere she goes. She'd always been so chipper and upbeat before this. You're pretty close to her, right? Do you have any idea what could be wrong?
Of course.
I just knew it. I'd ask you a favor of you. Let's just cut to the quick. Just now someone saw Arcelia wandering off to the Selenium Memorial Library. Her eyes were all glazed over and unfocused. I'm worried that where she'll stumble off to, what you might find her when she gets there.
It's a library, man.
You surely must be concerned for her well-being, too.
Dude, it's a library.
And it's not just the two of us. She's always been a presence here in the city. And with the way she sort of sticks out, it doesn't matter if you're in favor or opposed to this whole colonization affair. Some people love her, and others hate her. And so, if I could ask you a favor, nothing would take too much of your time. I just want you to talk to the princess. You're on good terms with her, and without her, it seems the people are lost. That has me just as worried. This isn't official coalition business, but would you mind seeing if there's anything you can do for her?
Of course. I know you will. Isn't that right?
I knew I could count on you.
And so off to the library we go next. Which is over in Eastern, over by the Scouts.
Arachnius, are you looking for something here too?
What kind of sweets do you like?
Well, what? Sweets? My favorite kind of sweets? Oh, dear princess, do remember that you're in a place of learning? Oh my. Please forgive me. I promise to be quieter. Right. Favorite kind of sweets. Right. Chocolate crepes with white honey? Or rich nougat smothered with maple sugar? And of course, who can forget gâteau aux fraises? The tartness of the berries is just to die for. Gwyneth always told me I ate too much and would balloon up like a swamp frog. Wait, why are we talking about this again?
Because I wanted to cheer you up.
Well, you certainly did succeed in surprising me. Were you really that concerned about me? For just a little moment, you helped me forget my troubles. Whoever would have thought you'd come all this way to help me talk about talking about desserts. Always so kind to me. Well, I'll make sure to get back to this topic later. To be honest, there is something that's been bothering me. Do you mind lending me your ear? It's about my brother. Of course I'm worried about what would happen if he never turned back to normal. It's more than that. Why would he point at me? I've turned it over and over in my head, but I can't find the answer. Every person in the room had their own take on the matter, but I can't shake the feeling that none of them are right. It's like they're only saying the thing that would help their agendas. I don't know what he really meant. I don't know his words were heartfelt, as they've ever been since we were little children. I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? Should I keep making inroads into Ilbuka? Or should I give up and withdraw like the Founder King bids? The arguments rage on and with increasing viciousness each passing day. What if the city becomes even more divided? What if this breaks out into all-out civil war? If that were to happen, whether or not we colonize the continent or not will seem but a minor squabble. What's more, I get the feeling that the anomalies happening throughout Ilbuka are not wholly unrelated to colonization. Not wholly related to colonization. We've long known that beasts lurk within the jungles, but now there are some creatures we've never even heard of until recently. Why could my brother just be more clear with his guidance? Was it, as you said, has his illness progressed to the point where we can't even telepathically communicate with him? And he's become a leafkin and more than just flesh? I'm sorry. All this is just so overwhelming. Try as I might, I cannot unravel these mysteries by myself. That's why I've been coming here for the past few days, hoping to find something. Anything. But once again, I've turned up empty-handed. How about your Rosalatia's palm? Has there been any change? See? But I believe in you, Arachnius. I know I'll be able to read into what he really wants. Rosalatia, Leaf King Queen, would not have trusted you if she hadn't seen some spark there. I've not been able to leave the city walls of late, but you must be going to the mainland on a regular basis. Please, if you find something, anything, let me know right away. I'll do what I can. There's just gotta be some tome that... Thank you for making the effort to come find me, Arachnius. Perhaps I'll finally sleep better tonight.
And with that, we have but one option, and that is to go talk to Level once again. No, seriously, that is what we're supposed to do now. Go talk to Level again. And that's where we're gonna call it, because we have another in-game wait. Like, seriously. Quite a few of these. 3-2-1. Also, I will say this is probably one of the most cutscene heavy storylines we've had. Like in any of the expansions. Normally, they've had a lot of cutscenes. On the other hand, this one has been, based on what I'm seeing here, because the wiki lists what type of quests they are. Quests, cutscenes, battlegrounds, BCNMs. This expansion seems to be 90% cutscene. Exactly what you do in, a modern story. To tell a story.
Dysrachnios! Dysrachnios!
Oh, this is the child we saved!
There you are! Just in the nick of time. This little sprite here kept saying she wouldn't leave my side till she met you, and I'm at my wit's end. She tells me you found some medicine for her grandfather. Long time no see, Rachnios. How's my grandpa doing? Thanks to the nice lady and her supernal stuff. It doesn't sound like he's coughing up a tempest anymore. I just wanted to thank you once more in person. Thanks a lot, Rachnios. Too bad the nice lady isn't here. I wanted to thank her for all the touching things she did for me in those scary woods. I guess she'll never be able to see her now that she's a princess. At least that's what my grandpa said. But if you can see her, can you please give her my regards? Please, Mr. On Top?
I cannot do a children's voice, much less one that has that minor child lisp that some children have. I think you got the wrong idea, Missy Sheet.
Hey, come back!
Oh well. No use chasing after her just to explain. I know we use princess as a term of endearment for her, but I don't think you could even use the phrase constitutional monarchy to describe Adeline these days. The king himself abolished royal rule years ago. Long ago. I suppose such concepts soar above the head of that pixie like her anyway. Now, I won't be interrupted. You and Arcelia found some herbs for that girl's grandfather, correct? Apparently they're harder to come by than an Audubon in the basalt fields. Count your lucky stars that the princess is so knowledgeable about plant life. Come to think of it, I haven't heard about any of her in the woodland escapades lately. I don't mean to pry, but how's she faring? Spoke to her in the library. I see. So she's thoroughly absorbed in her research and not particularly talkative then. It sounds like she was at least in good spirits. Those in support of the colonization movement have not been kind to Arcelia due to her reserved stance on the matter. On the other hand, her journeys into the wilderness do not go over well with the more traditionalist constituents. They fear her as much as they would a witch. Perhaps things would be different if she settled with a single faction instead of taking the high road and treating everybody as equals. Still, there are people in the Pioneers Coalition who think the world of her. Just that little girl who ran off a few moments ago. My point is, Arcelia might feel alone, but she's not. As our representative,
sticking by her through thick and thin, so she knows just how important the city is.
And with that, we now have to wait an in-game day. But, unfortunately, that is where we're going to call it for today. I can't believe I messed up the first 2.5 hours of stream. Like I said, that was probably some of my best voice acting work, and it has now gone into the ether. Never to be seen nor heard of again. I may try and figure out a way to reconstitute the cutscenes. There are ways of doing that in-game, but that'll only give you an idea of what was going on. So, next stream will be Friday. Yes, it'll be Friday when we're playing the Front Mission 2 remake demo. And hopefully it's as good a demo as Front Mission First was, and not a sign of a declining level of quality between the first, second, and third remakes.